This episode of the Guy Pod is brought to you by Adam and Brittany Gooch, realtors with the Agency on Pine. The Agency on Pine is an independent boutique real estate brokerage located in the beautiful Shoals area of North Alabama. At the Agency on Pine, they believe you deserve individual attention when you're buying or selling a home, and that is their promise to you. Born and raised in the Shoals, Adam and Brittany Gooch are two of the best agents in the area, and their commitment to the excellence and integrity are second to none. If you or someone you know is thinking about buying or selling real estate in the state of Alabama, then no one will work harder to see those real estate goals achieved than Adam and Brittany Gooch. Give them a call or shoot them a text at 256-394-2156 or 256-710-5888. Or you can find them on Facebook or Instagram, and you can also find them online at gooch.homes. That's gooch.homes. That's Adam and Brittany Gooch, realtors with the Agency on Pine. Now here are your hosts to the Guy Pod, Skip Nichols, Josh Kelly, and Adam Gooch.
And welcome to the Guy Pod. I'm Skip Nichols.
Josh Kelly.
Adam Gooch.
What's up?
Hey, one of y'all needs to turn your phone down.
What's that?
Josh Kelly.
What did I do?
Turn your phone down.
Turn it down. Is that better?
That's better.
Did I mess something up?
We're getting echoed.
I don't know. All right. How about now? They
Sounds
got
good.
us?
Can we?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Somehow I'm getting a reverb back there.
I don't know. You sound fine on my end. Gooch sounds fine on my end.
Hello.
All right, I'm hearing echoes on both of y'all.
I don't know, brother.
What's up, everybody?
Everything's good. Hey, guys. So we are live.
Skip is the only one echoing.
I'm the only one echoing.
That's weird. I don't know.
Josh Russell, Skip is the only one looking more official. I don't know about that.
That's usually the case in most cases.
That is true.
That he looks more official, but we know who the breadwinners are. Clearly, me and Gooch.
That's absolutely true.
So is it real bad on you, Skip?
Yeah, hang on.
Might be something to do with the our intros or something. Gooch, I emailed that to you.
Sweet.
All right, well.
I am hearing myself twice, so.
I sound fine. And I look good, too.
I knew that was coming. Right then, as soon as it came out of your mouth, I knew what was coming next.
Yep. I don't know. Everything sounds good on my end, so maybe it's my fault. I don't know. Are we ready to go? You figured it out, Skip?
Hello?
I can
Hello?
hear you clear. You good? You're muted.
Yeah, something's going on.
I don't know.
Hello.
It sounded fine a minute ago before we were getting going.
Yeah, it did.
Can you power through it, Skip?
I don't know. It's going to sound echoey to all the listeners.
It got worse. It just got worse. Because I'm echoing also.
How about now?
You've never echoed to me, so if you're listening right now, Adam just started echoing some.
Check.
I don't know, buddy. Can't hear you now, Skip. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Gooch? How does
Yeah, you sound good to me.
Does me and Adam sound fine now if you're listening? this is so funny because we always log in like 10, 15 minutes early, and we were testing it, and we were just talking. Everything sounded good, and then we hit go live, and then there we are. Oh, nice. Now, I started echoing a little bit then.
I just took my headphones out.
Let's do this. Y'all stay on. I'm going to jump out and jump back in. All right. Give us a second, folks.
Now you just stuck with me because I'm not going to leave until I get back. Still an echo on me? I'm not echoing anymore now that they're gone. So what we need to do is just make this the Guy Pod Adam edition, and we'll be good. For real, guys, we've got an awesome game tonight. So while they're trying to figure this out, because I don't do anything with tech, I'm just here hanging out. We're going to play a game tonight. You guys, throughout the entire episode, you're going to get to give us input on what we do. All three of the guys are going to be participating. So you get to try to help us out. I should have listened to some of you earlier in the week, Josh, because I didn't listen to some of you. Josh has taken the lead in fake news, so I'm now losing in fake news department. I'm down a game. So, not now. I don't think I was the issue. I don't know who's the issue. Josh has typically been the issue because he's using these Beat headphones that are acting funny. But he sounded good and Skip was the one echoing, so I don't know. What's up, Ryan? Josh Johnson?
All right. Have y'all got me now?
I got you. You sound good to me this time.
All right. Wow. Technical difficulties. I'm going to bring Josh back to the stream.
What's up?
Now you're.
I don't like being on this side.
I was going to say, now I get to be in the middle. So.
This is weird. I think we're good.
I'm getting echoes everywhere.
I don't know. I just heard a ding.
What's up, Jacob Cody?
How's everybody
Jacob
doing?
we started our first band together, and he is an unbelievable guitar player.
That's cool.
So Skip is echoing.
Yeah, everybody's echoing now.
This sucks.
I sounded great once y'all were gone.
Everybody sounds good to me on my end.
Kelly's causing the echo. That's what Thigpen says.
Here, I'm going to leave the studio, and then y'all see if the echo leaves when I leave.
How about now?
I sound good.
Yeah, the echo's coming off of Josh's computer.
Told y'all it was Josh Kelly's fault. That's what I told him. It didn't start till Kelly joined. That's typically what happens. Problems, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Echo's gone. He needs to let the beats go.
Yeah, I think so.
Grab the old trusty Apple earbuds and just rock and roll, man. What's up, Cody Cavanis?
Josh, take your beats out.
Kill the beats, but don't kill the beat. Dustin, we don't need a reason to throw him under the bus, I promise.
So was it me?
It absolutely was the beats.
Really? That's interesting. All right. Well,
So welcome to the Guy Pod. I'm Skip Nichols.
Josh Kelly.
Adam Gooch.
Wow.
I'm really happy I get to be in the middle now. I'm going to be honest.
That was I didn't think it was me because I didn't hear anything. So sorry. I'm gonna throw these in the trash now. Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay. Can we start the podcast?
It only took 10 minutes.
Oh man, technology. You know, like you test something and then it doesn't work when you go to hit play. So
That's right.
that's fun.
Yeah, we were literally talking to each other for 15 minutes before we went live, and there were no issues at all.
Yeah, we try to do this professionally. We like jump in and we do a sound check. We make sure everything's cooking, and then all of a sudden, here we go. Oh my goodness! Now he's going to be a truck driver. Let's see how bad this makes it sound.
Listen, here's the thing: these truck driver headsets are the bomb.
That works. We have them.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do it. We're 10 minutes in.
So Adam came up with this really cool game today. And earlier, did I hear you talking about like giving them the details yet?
I did not. I told them we're playing a game that they get to help us play, and we're going to pick a winner before the night's over. And that's all I told them.
Well, I'm going to jump into it. So right now, obviously, we are having withdrawals and doing without football, basketball, baseball, soccer, golf, whatever there is. We don't have it right now. And we're big fantasy players, except for Skip. Gooch and I play a lot of fantasy football, and I love doing the bracket challenge for March Madness and all of that. So Adam had the idea of, hey, let's do a fantasy band draft, right? So that's what we're doing. So here's the rules, okay? Here's the rules. So it's going to be a snake style draft. So we already used a randomizer, and Skip's going first, then me, and then Adam's going third. And so the way that'll work is Skip will pick, I'll pick, Adam picks, then Adam picks, I pick, Skip picks. So we just snake it back and forth until we fill up our spots, right? So here's the spots of the band that we're picking. We're going to have a lead singer. We're going to have a lead electric guitar. We're going to have a second electric guitar, a bass guitar, and a drummer. And just for fun, we're going to have a backup lead singer.
Just in case somebody gets arrested.
That could happen, right?
That could happen in rock and roll, yeah.
So that could happen. So so y'all be thinking about lead singer. We got to have 2 guitar players, a bass player, and a drummer. So the band members can be made up of any person living or dead, but they got to be a real person. So no movie or TV show band people. And they can also be solo artists. So they don't actually have to be in a band. It can be like a solo person. So that's how we're going to do it. So, and then at the end, we got to come up with a band name that's made up of use only words from our fantasy band members' bands. So, like if you have somebody from Whitesnake and somebody from Pink Floyd, it's got to be like Pink Snake, or something like that. You have to use words. Now you can add in like small words like and the and little, I forgot what you call those English wise.
Articles.
Those are articles.
Or whatever those are. So you can use those, but the rest of it has to be made of words that they actually use in the thing. So we need you guys to play along. Let us know what you think. Help us pick somebody. Let us know if we screwed up, if we should have picked that person, whatever. And then we're going to figure out a way that you guys can help us pick the best band there at the end. So that's where we are. Skip, do you understand all the instructions? Oh, Adam, do you understand all the rules and instructions?
I'm ready to go, man.
So here's the thing. In drafting your band, there's strategy behind it. Just like when I draft fantasy football, do you pick a lead singer first? Do you pick electric guitar first? Do you pick a drummer first? So you don't have to pick that in order. You just have to fill up your slots, right?
Yep.
So there's strategy behind all of this. And Skip, you're going to you get first pick.
I like what Jacob Cody said. He said pink snake. I wonder what that shows on UrbanDictionary.com.
Probably shouldn't look at it. Not on a work computer, anyways.
Let's not look at that on a work computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've given a lot of thought on this today since we first started talking about this.
All right.
And since we have now decided that we can choose any position in any order, I'm going to choose my drummer first.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
And the reason I want to choose my drummer first is I want to get Chad Smith before any of y'all do.
Oh, that's a
Red
good
Hot
choice.
Chili Peppers.
Okay.
For one reason and one reason only, Will Ferrell drum off.
Oh,
I mean,
that is his doppelganger for sure.
that's pretty good. I mean, Chad Smith, he's an amazing drummer. Do I think he's a top 3 drummer? No. But hey, it's your band.
He puts on a show.
It's your band.
He does.
I mean, Chad Johnson, Tommy Lee, so I guess it's my pick now. I think that Skip is the classic guy. So if those of you who play fantasy football, Skip blew the first pick in the first round on the kicker. Just then.
No,
Skip just picked a kicker, first pick of the draft,
no,
first round.
we're good.
He picked the kicker. So it's my pick. And basically I got the first pick of the draft now. I am going with I gotta go Robert Plant, lead singer. I'm just taking Robert Plant. He can sing anything. He can sing rock, he can sing pop, he's got a bluegrass album. We all know how I feel about Robert Plant. And here's the thing, that was probably, you knew I was going with him, but I have to go with Robert Plant. So I have to. He's my guy. I'm going to try to not. The hardest thing for me in this is to not pick the entire band of Led Zeppelin. Because they're quintessentially the best of all their, at least the bass, the drummer, and I almost called him the kicker, and the lead singer. So, Skip really threw me off with Chad Smith. I like Chad Smith. He's a great drummer. Great drummer. And here's the thing. There's a lot of bands that have mediocre artists, but they got a good flow and vibe, and they got a great tone, and they play well off of each other. So I'm anxious to see where this goes. So I'm going with my pick. I'm taking the lead singer, and I'm going Robert Plant.
Wow. Okay. This is where strategy comes into this, folks, because wisdom would tell me that I need to go ahead and take the other vocalist that everybody thinks I need to take because he's on the table. But I don't think I'm going to do that because there's an electric guitar player I need to get off the board with my first round pick. And remember, I get this pick and the next pick. So I get the third and fourth picks with this one. So got Chad Smith with Skip, Robert Plant with Josh, which is a really, really good pick. I'm going to go with my first pick. I'm filling my lead guitar spot, and I'm going with the absolute no-brainer, one of the most influential guitarists of all time, probably the most celebrated guitarist of the 20th century. I'm going Jimi Hendrix.
Of course you are. Dang it.
I'm going Jimi.
You have to take Jimi Hendrix.
Listen, when Rolling Stone magazine basically quotes you as being the greatest instrumentalist in the history of rock and roll, like, you take that guy. And so I'm really, really excited that Jimi made it all the way to pick number 3. And because I don't want him to go anywhere, and it is a different pick, it's my phone going off, I'm going to go ahead and fill my bass player spot with my fourth pick with probably, at least in my estimation, the most influential person in music history of all time. And I'm going with Paul McCartney on bass.
Wow.
So in my book, he is the better half of the greatest songwriting duo of all time, right?
Yeah.
He played every single instrument, and he gives me some versatility because I can swap him over to the piano if I've got some big rock ballad that I'm going for.
He can play the drums too. He plays the drums too.
He plays it all. So I'm sitting at 3 and 4 with Jimi Hendrix and Paul McCartney. And
That was good ones. I didn't expect Paul McCartney to get taken that quick on that. He's really good. He's really good.
yeah,
So I am now with the 5th pick. I've got some decisions to make because I didn't see this coming. Jimi Hendrix, I knew was a top 3. I knew he was coming off quick. Chad Smith and Paul McCartney, I didn't think that was going to happen that fast. So I can't pick Jimmy Page because I've already picked Robert Plant, just because that would be lame. So I can't take him now. So I'm going to mark Jimmy Page off my list. But just know Jimmy Page is in the top 10 best guitar players of all time. He's up there.
no question.
I'm a little torn with man. I'm gonna go Eric Clapton on my lead guitar player. I'm going Eric Clapton.
That is a good decision.
I'm going Eric Clapton. He's a great guitar player. Clearly top 10. Great singer, great songwriter, cool guy. I think so far Robert Plant and Eric Clapton is the makings of a super band.
Eric Clapton, fun fact here, Eric Clapton is actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 3 times. One with the Yardbirds, one with Cream, and he's in there as a solo artist as well. So he's inducted 3 separate times.
He's amazing. So far my band name's Lead Cream. So let's see what's everybody saying. Chris Childers, Freddie Mercury, Eddie Van Halen, John Bonham, and Flea. That's some good ones. Yeah,
that's loaded. Yep.
That's a good band so far. All right, Skip, you get to pick twice.
All right. Well, I'm not going to lie. Gooch took my bass player.
I knew he was coming off the board. I had to jump quick.
Yeah, I actually had him in a couple of different categories. I'll explain that a little later on my next pick.
Okay.
But I'm going to go ahead and snag a bassist. And I had these labeled 1, 2, and 3. McCartney you stole McCartney from me. And then my other 2, I was torn between Flea. Flea's like high up in Rolling Stone's like top 10 bassist.
Oh yeah, easy.
But I think I'm going to go with John Entwistle from The Who.
John Entwistle's
because
amazing.
He would overshadow Pete Townsend on the stage a lot of the time. So for my bass guitarist, I'm going Entwistle.
They called him Thunderfingers. That was his nickname, Thunderfingers.
That's what she said.
There was he did this solo on My Generation that is like the quintessential bass solo of all times. You ask any bass player who that is, what's the best riff solo, whatever you want to call it, and he's the guy. He's the guy. That's the one. That's a good one, man.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Sure.
For sure.
I'm well pleased with that one. And I'm going to lose. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. I had Paul McCartney from Wings in my lead singer lineup, and I had Paul McCartney from the Beatles era.
Yeah.
In my bass lineup. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick my lead guitarist.
Okay.
And I'm going to go semi-local guy with a Prattville native Tommy Shaw of Styx.
Oh, hey!
Wow.
I didn't see that one coming. Great pick, but I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, he's I knew Skip's list was going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because Skip's a little bit different. I don't mean that in a bad way. Tommy Shaw, I did not see Tommy Shaw coming either. So far, John Entwistle is probably the best bass player of all time.
I'll go.
He probably is. Tommy Shaw, amazing. and it's hard. It's so hard, I think, to say best guitarist of all times. You know what I mean? Because there's so many different styles and things like that. But
Yep.
I'm glad now that both of y'all have taken a bass player, so I can use my last pick for the bass player that I had on my number one list. So my bass player, number one, probably none of y'all's ever heard of him. I'm not going to pick him right now because I don't have to. I can wait till the very end because y'all haven't gotten him, so I don't have to think about that. So now I still got electric, I still got my bass, and I've got my drummer. Adam is not. I'm going to go ahead and pick a drummer, and I'm going with Keith Moon.
Oh,
I'm going to
good
Keith
decision.
Moon. So, fun fact on Keith Moon. So, those of y'all who don't know who that is, that he's from The Who. He was the person that they, they patterned Animal after off the Muppets. Amazing. I mean, The Who is a phenomenal band. I think that we kind of forget that how awesome everybody is. Here's the thing, Jacob Cody. I can't take John Bonham because I've already taken Robert Plant, and I just that was going to be my hardest thing was not to take Jimmy Page, John Bonham, and Robert Plant. So I'm going Keith Moon. Josh going full hipster, yeah. Y'all probably never heard of him, but he's amazing. Once I tell you the bands and the people he's played with, you're like, oh, that guy. But I'm going Keith Moon as my drummer. Just because, that's Animal. He's crazy. He's an amazing drummer. He's fun to watch. And so far, with Eric Clapton, pretty chill. Robert Plant, we know what we got there. And I got Keith Moon on drums going crazy. I'm thinking I'm shaping up to be pretty strong. So, Keith Moon from The Who.
See, that's the thing. I think I might have overthought this, but as I was trying to figure out who to put together, it wasn't just you pick the best person at each spot. You have to think how are these people going to play together? How does their style, how does their music mesh with the other guys? How are they going to gel personality wise? So I think we're working pretty well so far.
Yeah.
So I get 2 picks now. So we're back to me, and Jacob Cody called it, and he's still on the board somehow. So I'm going to go ahead and take John Bonham on the drums.
You have to.
Because he's still there, and by the time Snake gets back to me, he won't be there. And so I'm still rolling the dice on a couple of big-time positions, but I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at. This next pick that I'm going for, I think I'm going to go ahead and fill my other electric guitar spot.
Okay.
Again, it's an out there pick, but I'm going to go with an artist who has had unbelievable success for more than 40 years. I think his guitar playing ability is overshadowed by his persona and what everybody else thinks about when they pick him.
I know what you're going with.
Goose, that leaves you with 2 band members who is fixated on the right. That's true. Yeah. It's going to be a wild time.
I know who you're picking right now.
My second electric, I'm going with the one and only Prince.
Prince. I knew you were picking Prince.
I'm picking Prince. So I've got Jimmy and Prince on EG 1 and 2, and that's stout. I'm going to be honest with you.
Can I point out that you wasted a pick on your drummer because Skip and I had already picked a drummer, and you could have waited till the end?
Because I know the other ones I'm going for. Prince, Chris Childers is questioning Prince. Prince was a
amazing guitarist,
unbelievable guitar player. Absolutely,
16 instruments he played.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Josh Johnson, Warren Haynes is Government Mule is my favorite band of all time. I've been to 15 Government Mule concerts. He is an amazing, but he's for the purposes of this, I'm not going with anything like that. Who's this? So Josh says Lane Staley, Slash is a cool. Slash's cool factor makes him better than he really is. Flea, John Bonham, that would be an awesome band.
Yeah. I feel like Prince was I feel like he was the dark horse pick of all of it. Like
Yeah.
I have versatility between him and McCartney. I have versatility like unbelievable right
I
now.
mean, right now you've got Prince and can you imagine Prince and Paul McCartney singing on a song together?
Come on.
I mean, that's like with me and Eric Clapton and Robert Plant together, so different. So that brings me to my.
Hold up, I still got another pick. I still get to go. We're still on my double up.
No, bro, you picked John Bonham and Prince.
Oh, is that my two?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
you trying to take my pick?
For a
Trying to
second,
steal my pick?
we got to take a quick commercial break.
All right, hit it.
Don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna blow your mind with this pick.
Let's face it, sometimes local is just better. Locally grown, locally sourced, shop local, eat local. But what about local expertise? At Allstate, Josh Kelly is just that, a local. So contact Tuscumbia Allstate agent Josh Kelly today so he can help you with protection that's right for you and the things you love most. His team can be reached at 256-826-5309. Allstate, you're in good hands, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Okay, we're back. So I'm going. I don't have to pick my bass player right now because y'all have already picked who you have there, and mine's really good. So I've got Robert Plant, lead singer, Eric Clapton playing electric. I got Keith Moon as my drummer. I'm very inclined to pick another guitarist who can also sing, just because think about like the Eagles and stuff and how they all harmonized together, and the Beach Boys, how they all sounded just amazing. I'm thinking, what would balance out Robert Plant, Eric Clapton with a guitar player, something totally different. I'm going Stevie Ray Vaughan.
SRV.
I'm going Stevie Ray Vaughan. And just because, he's really cool, very cool. His voice is weird. I like his voice. He's an amazing guitar player, totally different from Eric Clapton. And plus, so far, all these dudes are pretty close to the same age, and I think they jive well together. So,
Yep.
So that's where I'm at. So I'm Robert Plant, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Keith Moon so far. I'm going to be honest with you. So far, it's pretty amazing. So, hey, pop up Dustin Box's comment there. So the drum Rush, I'm going to tell you, man, he is, he was in my top three. I had him, John Bonham, and Keith Moon. Oh man, if you've ever, I think people, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for there, but Rush was such an amazing band that I don't think when I think of classic rock groups and people that were amazing, I think of Rolling Stones, I think all this stuff. I don't always think of Rush, but man, they're great.
Well, then when you talk about Neil Peart too, the thing that a lot of people don't know is that he wrote all of Rush's songs.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Neil Peart, and then like if you don't know who he is, you need to go look him up, because where most drummers that we're listing out would play, have their kit would have 10 things, 10 drum cymbals. You might get some up to 20 if they got a big set. Peart's playing like 30 to 40. Like his drum kit was massive. And so if you don't know who Neil Peart is, he was they call him the Professor. That's his nickname.
He was that was I honestly thought that if I got him or Keith Moon, I would have been super happy. Dustin Thad, I almost went Santana. But I went with somebody that could also sing, and I can't believe Santana's still on the board, but I almost went there.
So much of this goes in to, like, when you start putting this band together, it's not just like who the best, like you have to think about stylistically how they all like fit together, and so
So did,
Yeah, I don't know.
did Dustin
It's
Box
a
just
shame
put
that
a
Kurt's off.
did Dustin Box just put a John Mayer comment on there?
He did.
Will somebody
Hey,
tell
John Mayer.
will somebody tell him this is the guy pod?
Oh my goodness! I just saw
I'm
it.
just kidding.
He
John-
can play though.
He's okay.
He can play.
He's
Hey,
okay.
there's some crazy like somebody's talked about Vince Gill earlier in the comments.
Vince
but you
Gill's an
get,
amazing guitar player.
Like you're not going to put him on your rock band, but you get into some country guys that can shred. Like Brad Paisley is unbelievable.
Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins was
Chet
an
Atkins is
amazing guitar
ridiculous.
player.
Yeah, like so many people can just shred. Keith Urban's an unbelievable guitar player.
Yeah.
But they can't make it on my greatest rock. I'm creating a roster of rock gods here.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying right now, I've got Jimi Hendrix, Prince, Paul McCartney, and John Bonham. And I'm feeling pretty good about winning this show tonight, guys. I'm just saying. So
I like it. I like it. Skip, you're on the clock, buddy.
I got 2, right?
You get 2 picks. You've got a lead elect. You got a electric and a backup singer.
I got a lead singer too, hadn't I?
Oh, and a lead singer. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get my lead singer and my backup lead singer.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with the one that I was going to let go earlier. I don't know. No, I'm going to throw this out there. My lead singer, and y'all are going to laugh at this, but I need a guy that can play the piano too, because we don't have piano players on here.
that's true.
Right.
I'm going with Billy Joel.
Hey,
Wow. Okay.
all right.
Lead singer number 1.
I'm not sure how Chad Smith and Tommy Shaw's going to play with the Billy Joel, but they're good enough that they can do whatever.
We didn't start the fire, buddy.
Yeah. I'd really like to see what kind of music Skip's band plays.
I mean,
Like, what's that sound?
that's a very eclectic group of people.
Very eclectic sound. They're going to be able to chart on every Billboard chart there is.
Yeah, they're number one on every chart
That's
imaginable.
going to be the softest rock you've ever heard.
Not quite yet, because
That's
I
awesome.
really want Billy Joel to play the piano,
Okay.
like really slam on the keys. So Freddie Mercury is my other lead singer.
Okay.
I knew he wasn't going to make it to me, but that's okay. See,
Okay.
that was the gamble. That was the gamble I made earlier. He was my number one. Everybody knows it.
Yep.
I was hoping Skip wasn't going to pick him right then so that it would make it back to me and I could. But that's the best front guy there is.
And
So,
honestly, I just picked Billy Joel for the piano playing.
I mean, that was a good pick. I mean, here's the thing. You can't go wrong with any of these people. They're all amazing in their own right and everything else. That's what's fun about this. So let's see here. Josh Steven Tyler. I mean, yeah, piano, crazy vocal, swag. He's a good one. So also, who said that Gooch is in the lead? Really, Chad?
I'm for sure in the lead.
No way. So right now, to recap, right now Skip's got Billy Joel as lead singer, Tommy Shaw as a guitar player. He's got John, and how do you say his last name? How do you say his name?
Aunt Whistle.
Aunt Whistle. He's the bass player for the Who.
It's got a
I had to look him up earlier because I knew the bass player for the Who was amazing, but I didn't know what his name was. Chad Smith on drums for Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Freddie Mercury is back up. He's still got one guitar player on the table. I've got Robert Plant from Zeppelin as my lead singer, Eric Clapton on electric, Stevie Ray Vaughan on electric, and Keith Moon on drummer. I've still got a bass player and a backup singer on the table. So far, Gooch has Jimi Hendrix on guitar, Prince on guitar, Paul McCartney on bass, and John Bonham on drummer, and he still has lead singer and backup singer on the table. So I am going to save my bass player again for my last pick. And so for backup singer, I'm really torn here because I got Robert Plant, Eric Clapton, and Stevie Ray Vaughan that can all sing. Somebody mentioned this earlier. Chris Cornell is probably one of the best vocalists of all times. I'll fight you over Black Hole Sun. I mean, that's one of the greatest songs. That's the song of mine and Gooch's childhood.
Sure.
And Mick Jagger is one of those that is like, hey, I should pick Mick Jagger, just because he's cool, he's dancing around everywhere. But I've got Robert Plant up there already. I'm going Jim Morrison is my backup singer. I'm going Jim Morrison just because I think that his voice, in combination with Robert Plant, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, will add a cool tone to it. Plus, he's just cool. And that's where I'm at so far. So I'm in Jim Morrison. I don't really have to explain how amazing the Doors were and all the music that came out of there. But Jim Morrison's just, he's Jim Morrison.
No doubt.
So.
All right. So I'm down to my last two picks. They're both my vocalists. So I'm going to pick my backup vocalist first, and I'm going to save my front man, the lead guy, for my last pick in this draft. And in the backup spot, I'm going to go Dave Grohl. Saw somebody call it out. Dustin knows what's up. Dave Grohl, you talk about Nirvana, you talk about Foo Fighters. Basically, for the last 30 years, 30 years, Dave Grohl has been the god of rock and roll music, right? Like he's the guy. So he's going to be my backup vocal spot. Can pretty much do whatever you want. And then I'm so glad y'all didn't pick him because his name has been said multiple times. He was my number 2 for my lead guy. So Freddie Mercury was 1. I wanted Freddie. I rolled the dice and probably waited a little too late to grab him. So that's my fault. But he's still on the board, and I am completing my band roster with my lead vocalist. My front man is going to be Chris Cornell of Soundgarden, Audio Slave, Temple of the Dog.
All of them. There's like 7. He worked for Timberland. He's worked with everybody.
No doubt.
Chris Cornell, I think somebody made the comment, don't sleep on Chris Cornell. And I think that is, he is probably, I don't know. I mean, I bet you could ask 10 people who that is, and 2 of them would know who he is. But you play his voice, you'd be like, oh, that guy. He's amazing. He's amazing.
You think 90s grunge, early alternative rock, Kurt Cobain gets the credit. Like he deserves to get the credit for being the face of grunge music. But if you're going to talk about who the front man that came out of the alternative movement was, that was Chris Cornell, hands down. And I am pumped about my team right now. And so now I get to start thinking about my band name before it gets back and we're done with this, because you guys are all going to vote and I'm going to win. And that's just going to make it all worth it. So.
All right. So I'm back on the clock. So does anybody have any guesses who my bass player is?
I think you're going to go. I think you're going Geddy Lee, but.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
We go Sting.
Nope.
That'd be a good one.
Victor Wooten.
I was going to say, I about said Victor Wooten. I was thinking
Wooten.
you said names people wouldn't know. I was thinking Geddy, and then I almost said Victor Wooten. So
Victor Wooten to me is the best bass player of all time.
He's
I just think that much of him. Skipping Josh for a second, no thirds in this contest. Really, Chad? That hurts me. It was the Coleman comment last week, wasn't it? It was the Coleman comment.
He's Team Gooch, man. He's Team Gooch.
Les Claypool's amazing. So right now I've got Robert Plant, lead singer. I've got Jim Morrison backing him up. I mean, are you kidding me? Robert Plant and Jim Morrison. Then I've got Eric Clapton and Stevie Ray Vaughan on guitar. Victor Wooten's my bass player. He's back there. And then I got Keith Moon as a drummer. I mean, that's strong. That's strong.
So it's back to me to make my last pick, right?
Yep, you got electric guitar player.
Paul Stanley, Kiss.
Hey.
Paul Stanley. That's a fun one.
That is a good one.
I have achieved exactly what I needed to crush you with my band name.
That's
That's all Skip was playing
that's all he
for.
wanted to do this whole night. He didn't care who he got. He just wanted the best band name.
Oh, that's fantastic. So this whole time I've been overthinking it and not even been thinking about band names or anything to do with any of that. And so, man, I need to start thinking about that kind of stuff.
Oh, I
'Cause
do.
Yeah,
I
I
it's
have
now
not.
time.
Dude. All right, let's take a quick break while we look over these and figure out what our band name is going to be.
Oh, God.
We'll be right back.
Let's face it, sometimes local is just better. Locally grown, locally sourced, shop local, eat local. But what about local expertise? At Allstate, Josh Kelly is just that, a local. So contact Tuscumbia Allstate agent Josh Kelly today so he can help you with protection that's right for you and the things you love most. His team can be reached at 256-826-5309. Allstate, are you in good hands? Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
I've got my band name
How did you do that so fast?
because I don't have a whole lot of options. Rich, because I clearly didn't think about that when I was picking. So
Okay.
I did not even think about past lead cream as far as I went when I was thinking earlier, and I didn't pick. So here's what I've got. I'm not locking this answer in right now. So I'm open. I'm
Well, help
open.
us.
Huh?
I need help. I need help. So I
I'm-
need comment help.
I'm open to suggestions from the audience, but so far I'm going with double cream and the door tones.
Double cream in the door tone.
Double cream and the door tones, because I got double trouble, cream, the doors, and the fleck tones. And I've used everything but Led Zeppelin in there, so that's double cream and the door tones, and so that's where I'm at so far on that.
All I can say is if these same people are in the comments when we announce our band names, there's no way I lose.
Oh God.
I like Jacob Cody. Put his comment up. He says, observation, 5 out of 6 Gooch's picks are vocalists and 3 can play anything.
It's a good call.
That's true.
It's true.
That's true. Yep. Yeah, because
mean-
we talk about drummer. I got John Bonham, and then if he ends up going to jail, I've got Dave Grohl as my backup drummer.
And Paul
And Paul
McCartney's a good
McCartney's
drummer.
the backup drummer. Like,
Well, here's the thing. Do you want to go with generalists or do you want to go with specialists? So I chose to go. Do I want to go and have the family practitioner doctor do my heart surgery, or do I want to go to the specialist? So I picked on my bass player and my drummer. I picked specialists. I picked specialists.
Matt Upton,
Yeah.
I almost picked Stevie Nicks.
I'm gonna be honest with you. She didn't even cross my mind. I screwed up there.
I thought about. I almost went Debbie. I almost went Blondie on it so that I could include her in my band name, but I had Chris Cornell still sitting there, and I couldn't wait. So I threw a girl into the mix just so I could lock in the female vote because I understand how politics works, and we have about 50% female viewership. So, but I just didn't do it. That is a very good call, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gucci
I
definitely has depth.
And I
Yeah.
like how you're calling Prince and Paul McCartney and Dave Grohl not specialists. I just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah.
I don't know
well,
about that.
I mean, Dave Grohl is a drummer. I mean, I don't care what anybody says, he's a drummer. Do I like to hear him sing? Yeah. Can he play the guitar pretty good? Yeah. He's a drummer to me. He's always going to be a drummer. Paul McCartney is a lead singer and a bass player. He plays
Okay.
the bass. Can he play
Right.
everything else? Yes.
But hey, you give me
Yes.
Hey Jude, you give me The Long and Winding Road.
I'm not.
or
I'm not saying it's a bad pick.
Let It
I'm not-
Be. Maybe I'm Amazed.
I mean,
He's on
I'm
the
not saying it's a
piano
bad
for
pick. I'm not
So-
saying it's a bad pick. I'm just saying that real talk, how it is right now with him up on stage, Paul McCartney's a bass player. Dave
Oh,
Grohl's
yeah.
a backup singer, not all the other stuff.
Yep.
So
I'm just saying I'm going to win this competition. So
I don't know. I would like to see what.
I think you'll win the concert tour, Adam. I will win the band name on the T-shirt contest.
that's probably true because I'm really struggling with the band name right now. I'll be honest.
Well, it's because Prince and Jimi Hendrix didn't really.
You had the Jimi Hendrix Experience, so
Yep.
I like Experience. That's a cool. But yeah, the others like
The Beatles sound experience, the lead Beatles
Nah.
sound experience. Yeah, your band name's stupid.
yeah, I'm struggling. I need help, guys.
Anyway, you shred it.
In the comments, my band's going to be awesome, but for you to wear their T-shirt, I need a cool name. So, I don't know. I'm struggling with this. The Foo Temple Experience, maybe, because I do have some benefit there that I've had several guys in multiple bands.
True.
I mean, Chris Cornell's
So-
been in like 17 bands,
Yeah.
but so you could probably come up with something of some of that, but it's going to have to get super nerdy to figure that out.
The audio temple. I don't know.
I don't know either. You could go the sound.
All right.
You could go the sound experience.
I could. Yeah,
Of course, I've come up with Double Cream and the Door Tones. I mean, so I'm not buying a ticket to see that group.
the,
The Foo Wings Garden Experience.
that
That's
sounds like
pretty
a
good.
Chinese. That sounds like a Chinese takeout spot.
Hey, I'll eat there.
All day long.
The Foo Wings Garden Experience. The Lead Wings of Temple Nirvana.
That's pretty cool.
That's
I
That
think
might
maybe
be
drop
one of
off the second of and call it the
Yeah.
Lead Wings of Temple Nirvana.
yeah. Okay. I like where we're going here.
Lead Temple Nirvana wings. All right, Skip, give it to us.
Y'all aren't ready for this.
I'm sure we're not.
This may very well cost us our family friendly rating.
Oh God.
Who kissed the Red Hot Sticks?
Oh God.
Who kissed the Red Hot Stick?
I worked all day to get that one sentence.
Who kissed the Red Hot Sticks?
We literally played right into his hand on that one.
We did.
He got every pick he wanted.
Yeah.
So had you taken the Beatles and you'd had McCartney, what would you have done with the Beatles or Wings? Because that was your pick.
I wasn't really sure at that point. I was kind of hoping I thought all this through.
Yeah. Okay.
The only choice I made today when we first started talking about this was the band name. And then I started researching, working backwards from that.
That's pretty good.
So who kissed
The Red
the
Hot.
Red Hot Sticks?
Hmm.
That's a good one. So I'm going to go with Jacob Cody's recommendation. I'm going to stick with the Lead Wings of Temple Nirvana.
I guess I'm going to go Double Cream and the Door Tones.
Yep. All right. So here's what we do from here. So we are going to, after this podcast episode is over, we're going to get a graphic or we'll put something together and we'll put it on our social media channel. And then we're going to take votes on, are we going to do overall winner, like band name and band, or are we giving 2 awards out?
I think we got to go overall.
Overall, you get 1 pick. So band name and band members. Like that would be an unbelievable band. That's my favorite of the 3. And then we'll have everybody vote and then we will announce the winners on our social media channels.
Yeah, we'll take and put a little graphic together with each one of those pictures, their name and their band name, and put it together underneath our band name.
Skip's band is going to be playing some baby making music.
I'm just saying, based on these comments in here, I'm going to win this thing.
I think people need to really take a look at my list because I'm looking at this and I legit have the best people. So we're going to see how it all votes out. But my guys mesh well. They would get along. It would be a party for sure, because you're going to have John Bonham and Jimi Hendrix on the same stage, and there are a lot of substances being partaken. But
Man.
Gooch wins. The Gooch twins are Team Gooch. They got my vote. So
They don't count. They only get one vote because they're twins.
they're a package deal.
Thank you, Dustin Box.
Really?
Name and really?
Yeah. Double Cream in the Door Tones. Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. Amazing range. Amazing front man. Energy. He can sing anything. Then I've got Eric Clapton and Stevie Ray Vaughan on guitar, who combined can play anything. I mean, amazing guitar players, known for these aren't people like Prince is an amazing guitar player, but he's not to the most public thing. Oh, you don't think of Prince, you don't think of guitar player, you think of Prince. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, amazing guitar players, but amazing vocalists as well. In the backup, totally different from all three of them there together. Then I've got Victor Wooten. If you've never heard of Victor Wooten, go to YouTube and watch him. He's played with everybody. I mean, he's amazing. He's amazing. And then I got Keith Moon on drums, and then Jim Morrison as background vocals from the Doors. I mean, mine's tough. Mine's a different sound than Adam's is. Adam's is more of yours is more of a harder rock sound than mine is. Mine's more of a classic rock sound. So, I mean, it is a different sound. I guess it depends on what you like. Do you like heavier grunge music, or do you like classic rock, the stuff that, the creators of rock and roll, outside of Paul McCartney, but in this place, he's just a bass player on your team. So,
And he can do anything he wants. So I think we've all got some great picks here. We are, if it has 2 awards, Gooch's band members and Skip's name, but I forced his hand and made him pick overall. I think you're putting too much weight in the band name category. Like, this should be like 75% who's in the band.
Hey,
25% name.
Hey, you judge a book by its cover, man. You judge a book by its cover.
That's true.
I'm going to sell a bunch of T-shirts.
Who Kiss the Red Hot Sticks?
That's really where bands make their money anyway.
Absolutely.
It's in merch. They make their money in merch, and so. All right.
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty good about
I am
it.
too.
Okay. So we've got our names locked in. Josh, you're going to handle getting that graphic together and getting that
I
on
will.
the pod page. And we'll let everybody vote. We'll take votes for what? We're going to take votes for about 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we do it for maybe a week.
Yeah, run it. We'll announce the winner next Friday night live, like we're right now.
Sounds good.
Good.
And I'll build all that out and make it totally biased towards me. No, I'm kidding. I'll have that up. I'll have that up before the morning, and y'all go to the Guy Caught. What's I gonna say?
I didn't want just the family-friendly rating after all.
I said I got the first 2 letters mixed up there. So the Guy Pod page. And but anyways, we'll do that. So to recap, everybody, Skip's going with lead singer Billy Joel. My lead singer is Robert Plant. Adam's lead singer is Chris Cornell. I mean, real talk.
You win that one. I'll give it to you.
I win that one.
You win
Electric,
that.
Tommy Shaw, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix.
I'll
I
win
think
that one.
Adam wins that one.
Yep.
Paul Stanley, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Prince. I really think Stevie Ray Vaughan and Prince are pretty even there. Paul Stanley's cooler, but
What?
I still,
Who's cooler than Prince? Literally no one.
He's really
I mean,
Literally no one is cooler than Prince.
I like
That's what
Prince.
made him- That's
I like
what he
Prince.
was known for.
I mean, I know, but I mean, I don't know. But I think Stevie Ray Vaughan and Prince are probably pretty even guitar wise. If you look at a true technician, Stevie Ray Vaughan might edge him out there, my opinion. Bass players, real talk. I mean, Victor Wooten and John and blah, 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 blah. Entwistle is better than Paul McCartney at bass. Or Paul McCartney overall, way cooler, way better, way whatever than them. But as a bass player, John Entwistle's probably the best in his style, whatever. Victor Wooten's the best at his style, but overall, in those three bass players, I think Skip takes it. Now, Paul McCartney, taking just as a bass player, is what we're talking about. Drummers.
About bass players, Josh, let me just throw it out there that absolutely no one even considered the Journey bass player from 1985 to 87, American Idol's Randy Jackson.
That's true.
That's funny.
That's another.
I've got a samurai sword signed by him. What movie was that from? What movie was that from?
I don't know.
The samurai.
The guy said he had a samurai sword signed by Randy Jackson.
I don't know.
If you're listening to this, and I'm not crazy, I don't think. It's past 9 o'clock, but what am I talking about there? Somebody in some movie somewhere, it's some goofy movie where this guy's got a samurai sword signed by Randy Jackson.
All right,
Anyways.
so I need some clarity because Jacob says Prince wipes the floor with him, which I agree from a technical standpoint. Prince, but then he says Paul Stanley wins.
Chest hair.
Oh, okay, I got
Except for
you.
chest hair. Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
He's got more chest
for
hair.
sure. Yeah.
And probably 50-50 on the makeup.
Stevie Ray Vaughan, I don't think has any chest hair. I don't think. Step Brothers. It was from Step Brothers.
Yes.
He got the samurai sword from. Anyways, thank you, Josh Johnson, because I knew I wasn't crazy. I couldn't remember what it was from. So drummers. Chad Smith's cool. I don't think Chad Smith's considered a top 10 drummer. I don't think Chad Smith's considered a top 50 drummer, but he's good. So we got
I think he's probably top 20.
Keith Moon and John Bonham. Here's the thing, John Bonham's it. But I couldn't pick John Bonham because I already had Robert Plant, and I didn't want to pick the whole band of Led Zeppelin. But I think Keith Moon's amazing.
Oh yeah,
Moon's a better showman, but Bonham, I mean, I agree, John Bonham's better. Backup singers, Freddie Mercury, Jim Morrison, Dave Grohl. Freddie Mercury. I mean, there's no. I think Jim Morrison's better than Dave Grohl. But
I really think it's funny that we ended up with Freddie Mercury as the backup singer. What band has Freddie Mercury as the backup singer?
Skip, why didn't he go Who Kissed the Red Hot Queen? The Red Hot Queen Sticks. You need to change it to Who Kissed the Red Hot Queen Sticks.
I started to make it Queen, Who Kissed the Red Hot Sticks.
You could have been Who Kissed the Queen's Red Hot Sticks.
Who kissed
I stand by
Queen
my
Chili
decision.
Peppers?
So,
the fact that I solely picked Billy Joel to play the piano. He's not even in the band name.
I think that we have very different bands. I think Skip's is a very eclectic, not really sure what they're going to sing, but clearly a soft rock, love-making type music.
Which it's funny, Chad Smith is known for not being able to play soft. Like that's what he's known for.
It's going to be fine.
So
we'll sell a lot of t-shirts. Really
I think that my band is more of your classic rock, power ballads, a lot of cool guitar solos type music. And I think Adams leans more towards a harder rock type, even with a little grunge twist. You got Chris Cornell and Dave Grohl on, vocals. I'm not sure where Paul McCartney can really do anything, so he's kind of in there. So it's really interesting. And then the band names are very different. Who Kissed the Red Hot Sticks is very funny. Double Cream and the Door Tones makes you think like what? And then what was yours again, Gooch?
The Lead Wings of Temple Nirvana.
The Lead Wings of Temple Nirvana. That actually sounds like it could be a band name.
It
So
does, yeah.
Josh, you were lead cream in the door tones or double cream?
Double cream. I went with double trust, so double cream in the door tones.
That sounds like a 1950s doo-wop band.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Who kid? Wow,
Good kid.
that's funny. Dustin Box said, replace Billy Joel with Ben Folds, and you've got Who Kissed the Five Red Hot Sticks.
All
So
right.
just so Brittany Gooch can know that she is biased, so she doesn't get a vote.
I think it's actually the twins on her.
Yes.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
So they can get a vote, but it only counts as one because they look just alike. That's just my rules. It's in the rules. I read them earlier. They just weren't listening.
Yeah.
Everyone who logged in, you accepted the terms and conditions.
Plus, I like to make things up as I go, anyways. Hey, did y'all see my shirt I got?
That's awesome.
It's Baby Yoda. I watched the new Star Wars movie last night, The Last Skywalker.
Yep. It was good.
It was good. It was good. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. It was but it was good. I enjoyed it. So I think we talked about that in an earlier episode that I just watched Star Wars, all of them, for the first time like a year or two ago. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to episode 10, the killing of the franchise.
So are we ready for fake news?
I think so.
We are. Are we done with our little game?
I'm feeling good about it.
Our
I
rock and
think
roll?
we're done. I think we're done.
Any more comments, questions we need to answer?
Hey, I do want to point out this though, that there was so I made a list. I made 2 pages of notes here. I would like to point out that my drummers were John Bonham in this order: John Bonham, Keith Moon, and then Neil Peart. And Neil didn't get picked. Skip went with the wild card, Chad Smith, who wasn't on there. Guitar players, I like to give some honorable mentions here because I feel like their names need to be. So, number 1, I had Jimi Hendrix. 2, I had Eric Clapton. I had Jimmy Page in there just because I had to put him. Dwayne Allman was my number 4.
It's a good one.
Stevie Ray Vaughan was number 5. So I went with Stevie Ray just because with the mix there, I needed to switch it up. Here's the thing: David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. Yeah, I didn't know his name.
He was my number 3.
I didn't know his name, but I was like, "Who's the guitar player for Pink Floyd?" Because he crushes. Derek Trucks. Maybe y'all never heard of Derek Trucks. So Derek Trucks was the nephew of the drummer for the Allman Brothers. So he's got him and his wife Susan Tedeschi. So they got the Tedeschi Trucks band. They're amazing. But he's great. Carlos Santana, which we talked about. Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa was on my list. Frank Zappa, great guitar player. Buddy Guy. The lead guitarist for Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi. I don't know how you say his last name, but I mean, think about like Crazy Train and not Crazy Train. That's Ozzy Osbourne, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, and all of that stuff. Prince was on there, and then Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler.
Oh yeah,
he's really good.
He's a good player.
Bass players, I had Victor Wooten, John Entwistle, and then Metallica's bass player Cliff Burton. You know, he think about all that song. I was going to sing it, but I can't because it's.
Agreed.
I did that. Lead singers that didn't get picked, I had Robert Plant, Freddie Mercury, Mick Jagger, Jim Morrison, Chris Cornell, and I had Eddie Vedder on there too. I like Eddie Vedder. I like Pearl Jam. So that was on my list. So all the people that were picked that weren't on my list, Paul McCartney and Dave Grohl were not on there. And then for Skip, 4 out of 6 I didn't have on my list. Billy Joel, Tommy Shaw, Paul Stanley, and Chad Smith. They were not on my list.
It's because you were building the best band name ever.
You're right. So I just thought that we needed to point out some of that stuff.
Love it.
All right, guys. Big fun.
Good times.
Let's get on to
Let's
fake
do it.
news.
All right, fake
Let's do
news.
fake news.
The fake news.
You are fake news.
So maybe they were fake news.
That is a lot of fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news. It's fake news. Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
And fake news is brought to you by Rivertown Films. For all your creative and video needs, visit www.rivertownfilms.net.
Yep.
Y'all, Wade Woods crushed that.
He did. We put out a plea on our, when did we do this? Tuesday night?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if there's anybody out there that's creative wants to put together a little intro for fake news, and we had it emailed to us that night.
Yeah. It was perfect.
Thank you, Wade. Awesome job. And
He does great work. We've used him several times on some projects, and Wade's first class. And a cool guy.
No doubt.
Cool guy too. So, all right, fake news.
All right.
I'd like to remind everybody that I am currently in the lead. I am one up on Adam Gooch, so I just wanted to point that out in case you weren't listening, didn't know. I didn't really make a big deal about it last episode, but I'm in the lead. Just wanted to make sure you knew.
I'm not sure if either of you will get. I'm not sure how this is going to play out because I think I've got you all. I really do.
All right, let's hear it.
Ready to take some notes?
I'm in.
I'm ready.
Okay, story number 1. Pennsylvania man chases neighbor with cobra after being told to turn down his music. This is from Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. A man has been accused of grabbing a 7.5-foot cobra, chasing after another man who asked him to turn down his music, police in Jenkintown said. Man knocked on the door of David Setzer, 47, on Monday. Police said and asked him to turn down his music because it prevented his wife, who's a third shift nurse, from being able to sleep. On being asked to turn down his Rage Against the Machine album, Setzer reportedly became upset, grabbed the snake, and allegedly chased the man down a hall and out of the apartment building. The man got away and there were no injuries.
Wow. I would
Well,
shoot somebody in the face if they came at me with a cobra.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first thing I'm looking at here is 7.5-foot cobra. And so I'm thinking back because I watch random YouTube videos, those guys in India that play with cobras and stuff.
You bring
And
a lot of math into these.
and so I'm thinking, I mean, I'm 6'1". I mean, and I'm thinking about the cobras curled up, and do they make 7.5-foot cobras? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
know. He's in an apartment. The Rage Against the Machine was oddly too specific there for me, so I'm leaning against that's fake news right now.
All right.
Yeah.
You gotta love the rest of these.
All right.
Story number 2. Rage Against the Machine plans to go forward with Portland concert. This is from Portland, Oregon. AP reports in what is being called an open act of defiance, anti-authoritarian rock band Rage Against the Machine announced earlier today they will perform a previously canceled concert date at Portland's Moda Center on April 25th. When asked about the open defiance of the COVID-19 shutdown in Portland, the band's guitarist and most of the time spokesperson, Tom Morello, said it would be counter to what we stand for to let a tyrannical government rule keep us from doing what we do, which is protest in song and deed.
That's something they would
That,
do.
okay, full disclosure. I love Rage Against the Machine. Big fan. Tom Morello, very, very special. That it would do. That
100%.
100%. That could be very real. But then
But here's the
it could
thing.
also be trying
It's
to
too
throw us
real.
off.
It's too real.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, number 3.
All right, story number 3. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Rage Against the Machine bassist confronts Buzz Aldrin about moon landing. This is from Los Angeles. Rage Against the Machine's Tim Comerford talks about his confrontation with Buzz Aldrin in an interview with StereoGum.com. I got into it with Buzz Aldrin 5 years ago at a John Cusack movie premiere. There were a bunch of people gathered around, and I said, I have a question. You have all these missions to the moon. How come there's no pictures of the flags on the moon? He said, well, those are highly degraded by radiation by now. I said, you've left a lot of stuff on the moon. It seems that somebody with a telescope or satellite would snap a picture of it so we could see it. It'd be on the cover of every newspaper. So those are your 3 Rage Against the Machine stories, guys.
So there's a bunch of these flat earth morons out there that believe that the moon landing was fake and all of that. And those, I don't know the bass player for Rage Against the Machine, but I know most of them are idiots in the band in a whatever way you want to take it. And that's something that could have happened. They could have been in a movie premiere in LA. Fun fact, recently got booted, but I was in a Flat Earth Facebook group and I liked trolling them and starting stuff. And it was really funny, but I finally got booted. They figured me out. And so I'm pretty stumped right now.
I think 1 is complete fake news. I am tied between 2 and 3 being the real story.
Like, which
But
makes
then he
me
gave us 2 stories that are really sounding real. So knowing Skip, number 1 is going to be the real story.
That's what I was talking about. I think Skip saw that one and they said Rage Against the Machine. So clearly what happened was Skip found a ridiculous article and then wrote 2 more with Rage Against the Machine in it.
That's exactly what happened. Yes.
I'm going because 2 and 3 is real enough. I'm going to say number 1's real. That's where I'm at because I think that that's stupid and is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And I don't think it really happened, which means that I think it did because 2 and 3, I think were a little too specific. It sounds like something Skip wrote because they 100% could happen. But then I think, had Skip no Rage Against the Machine was like that in real life?
Right.
How did he know that? How did he know that they were like Skip can't name a song Rage Against the Machine sings? Not until he researched them recently. But I mean, like, how did he know? How did he know that that's something 100% they would do? Or did he take articles about them and change them up enough to where it was fake? So Facebook land is not chiming in a whole lot right now.
They're not helping. I was
They're not
literally
helping us at all.
watching like last against a lot of people, and I lost my at least share of the lead. And now nobody's giving any help whatsoever. I'm leaning towards 3 being the real story. No joke. There's a video out 5 punching a guy that heckled him about the moon.
Yeah, Buzz Aldrin is like 80, and he knocked this dude out. Like he punched him. I'm going number 1 is real because it's not. It's not real. It can't be. But I'm going with number 1 is. But then I'm thinking 2 and 3 are so oddly close that did he just say, "Well, this is funny"?
Right.
This guy chased him in his apartment with a cobra. Man, I don't know.
I'm going. I think 3 is the real story. Final answer.
Josh,
I'm so torn. I'm picking number 3 too, just so I can keep my lead. just being honest. I'm just being honest. That's where I'm at. If I wasn't picking number 3, I think I would go number 1. But I'm so unsure about it at this point that I'm going with Gooch on 3.
You're gonna ride his tailcoats.
I mean,
yeah. And if I get this right, I'm gonna punch him the next time I see him.
It is what it is.
You guys got it.
Yeah.
Story number 3 was the real story.
Golly.
Oh man. So I would like to point out that I'm still in the lead. Doesn't matter how I'm in the lead. It just remind everybody that I'm in the lead. So did you ride?
Every
Skip, did you?
now you're going to just ride Gucci's coattails while you're in the lead, right?
Well, not necessarily. I didn't feel strong enough about any of the other ones in this scenario to go against that. And I was just really just let's throw a dart. And so why not keep my lead and go with Gooch? I mean,
Well,
it's like somebody, here's the thing. What just happened was we picked the number 1 through 10. Gooch went first and picked 1, and I picked 2.
Strategy.
But here's the thing. I could have been like, yeah, I think 3 as well. I'll go with 3. I could have been like that and been that guy, but I am what I am, and I'm just going to be honest. That's why I picked it. So if I hadn't been doing that, I probably would have picked 1 just because it sounded ridiculous. But so did you write 1 and 2, Skip?
I wrote 1 and 2.
That's pretty good.
that's pretty good.
That was pretty good. I was fairly certain that you wrote number 2.
Oh, yeah.
I was fairly certain you wrote number 2, but I was torn between 1 and 3.
I started to make one of them out of Florida to throw y'all off.
That always throws us off for sure.
Oh, man.
So we're going to do this again Monday night? Let's do Monday night.
Okay.
You me?
Does that work for you?
Hey, guys,
Yep.
if you got any topics that you want the guys to Josh Dickpin, next week Kelly has to answer first so he can't cheat. That wasn't cheating.
You can bank on that. You can bank on him answering first next week.
I'll change my answer. I mean,
Yeah, he'll change it too.
here's the thing. That's just how the game's played.
It is. Hey, that's fine.
That's just how you play.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I mean, that's the way it goes. Don't be drinking haterade, everybody. Monday. Hey, listen, if you've got some topics that you want us to tackle, something that you think would be fun to hear us talk about and go over, let us know. And we're open to suggestions. Now, we can also just come in here and spitball like we usually do, which normally turns out to be pretty good. But so just let us know. But I don't think I got anything else to say. We've been about an hour and 20 minutes, really about an hour and 10 because the first 12 minutes was
technical difficulties with the beats.
We did.
So that was my fault. I'm going to buy ear pods tomorrow, and we'll have to deal with that again.
Perfect.
Awesome. Good show, boys.
A lot of fun. And thanks everybody for listening. That's all for this week. Thanks for listening to us on the Guy Pod.
Hey, make sure you follow us on Facebook at The Guy Pod. Also, go and subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube, or you can listen to us directly at www.theguypod.com or find us wherever you listen to your podcasts.
So again, if you have any ideas, thoughts about future episodes, questions that you got for us, if you'd like to be considered for one of our advertisers, we have sponsors of our episodes. We'd love to talk to you about this. Email us at therealguypod@gmail.com. That's therealguypod@gmail.com. So other than that, that's it for this episode of the Guy Pod. So for Josh Kelly and Skip Nichols, I'm Adam Gooch. And remember,
when you're in over your head,
the first thing to do is close your mouth.
Let's face it, sometimes local is just better. Locally grown, locally sourced, shop local, eat local. But what about local expertise? At Allstate, Josh Kelly is just that, a local. So contact Tuscumbia Allstate agent Josh Kelly today so he can help you with protection that's right for you and the things you love most. His team can be reached at 256-826-5309. Allstate, are you in good hands? Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Thank you.